landscape for you. What this one is going to be is a field of sunflowers. First of all, I'm going to put in a little village. Just letting the brush make the marks, keeping it very abstract. And that's some yellow ochre. I haven't actually put a sky in, so let's just dash to some cerulean blue. I haven't rinsed my brush off properly, look. I've got a sort of greeny colour now. Never mind. And now I'm going to go to some lemon yellow to start with. Cat hair. And I'm just going to put, looks like I've got cerulean blue still in that. Oh, the joys of, the joys. The idea is just to have a bit of fun. This is a little warm-up exercise. And by working in sections like this, you can keep going without really worrying about things drying off. Now a bit of cadmium. And now you see I'm sort of doing a more of a dot effect as it comes towards me. And of course these marks will dry off, and if you want to intensify the colour you can go over again. I'm now going to a colour I have in my box which is called Sennelier yellow, and I'm dropping in circles just to give the idea that the colours are getting brighter as they get towards me. And the shapes of the sunflower heads are getting a little bit more defined. Now I've left some gaps. Always leave a few gaps because you might want to put something in there that you forgot about, or it's going to be bits of green maybe. Okay, this is dried off up here. Let's get a bit more village in. I've made a few marks. Now I'm looking at it thinking, well, that's not very good. Again, let's make the colours a bit stronger. It's going to be on a hilltop, I think, why not? Don't get bogged down in the detail. It's not a detailed sort of day. Okay, now can I put a line of green in? I think I can. What's lurking in my palette? I really must replenish my paint box. It's looking awfully sad. Nothing more sad than an empty paint box. I feel the need for some new colours. Maybe a new paint box. One that hasn't got cat hair in it. Okay, let us now. I'm leaving a gap between the yellow and just putting some sort of green tree thing in. And while I've got that on my brush, just popping a bit in. It's bleeding, but that's okay. Just to give the impression soften that out, it's too sharp. Okay, now that needs a bit of blue, that green, just bung some indigo in there, that's a bit dark. It doesn't matter if it bleeds, this is just for fun. You remember fun, doing it just because you can. Ooh, nice. Now, I think that hilltop is sort of resting on a rocky something or other. Make that look a bit cliff face sort of thing. I don't know. Okay. Now I want to push something back a bit. Put in like a layer of landscape, hills further back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a bit of terracotta, a bit more water. It's not really dry enough, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is to give the idea of some rooftops. And that's rather nice actually, how that has bled towards the edge to define that. I want that a bit bolder. Of course, when that's completely dried out, you can go in then more so and put a few more lines in, a little bit more defined. I am loving that. Right, sunflowers. Now I'm letting the brush make the marks basically. Not going everywhere, just giving an impression. It's up to you how much you want to do. This is just a little watercolour sketch on a sunny Sunday morning. The sunflowers in France, in the south of France, they tended to be in certain areas. But as I have noticed over the years on my travels through France and etc., that they are creeping north because of, I suppose, climate change. And this is mainly round here, you know, we just have vineyards. Vineyards, loads of vineyards to keep the rest of you in wonderful French wine. But I have noticed a few fields of sunflowers. They usually start going further west towards Carcassonne and that way, but I've noticed a few down here. Just have a bit of water, just soften it off. it's a fine line between giving enough detail. I think the green was a mistake actually. It might have been something I should have put in later. Now we do want to have the impression of a few heads, seed centres. Cover up some of that brown maybe. The green I mean. No, don't like that. Don't like that. Hello Bruno. Let's have a spattering. You can get a yellow nose. He's just out of camera shot. It's always easier if you mask off, then you can spatter with gay abandon. Whoops! Light nearly fell on me then. There's a bit of a breeze blowing through, which is very nice. What do we think about that? I think just soften some off a bit. See, we don't really want that there. And try and lift that out. Ooh. Can always turn it into a sunset. Right, now a little bit more on the village maybe. And we will need a few windows. The blend of this brush seems to have gone a bit peculiar. As they do sometimes. And then we can break up that village a bit more with some trees in between. Let's put another tree line there. That's a bit too bright a green. We'll just lift it off a little bit. Now, you can mess around with that as much as you like, but there you are. That's a nice little scene with a little village. Fiddle about with it, put more trees in, put some more landscape in, put more details of sunflowers in. It's entirely up to you, but I hope you enjoyed that.